Department of Agriculture and Water Resources. I just had a question about engaging disability employment services. So just to give some background, the department recently we started employing people with intellectual disabilities through the Australian Public Service Commissioner's Affirmation Measures, I believe it's called. And that allows us to employ somebody outside of the normal merit process. That's based on an intellectual disability only, so we've taken advantage of that. We use a disability employment service, which we have to. They've been great in being able to come in and identify the roles and all that kind of thing, but what I've found is it's taken away the competitiveness of us finding the perfect candidate, I suppose. And what I mean by that is because we have to get the one company in to do that identification of the roles, that means once they've identified it, I can't then call in 5 other companies to then say, you find me X amount, because obviously the company we've engaged would feel, or would feel like we have a commitment with them. So I guess my question is, and having a look at all the steps as to how we can do it, and we've generally followed those, I just want some advice pretty much on how we can go about that to make sure that we can get the best candidate by approaching, I think you used the term around a coalition of suppliers, but by having to make that first engagement, I feel like we're losing the ability to do that.
When Randy was talking about the coalition of providers and Uniting Care Health was mentioned here earlier, they came to us in Queensland a while back and said they wanted to appoint one provider to provide them with people with the disability to come through their system. I said that's not a good idea. We need a panel, basically, because at any given point we might not have the correct person for what we need. We have a cohort of people that are provided to us by Centacare, and on a given day we might be the provider that's got the 0. And it is better to have a good relationship with people that we trust. We've got MOUs around the country, and we can go to those people and say, well, we can't help, but can you? And that helps out people like Natasha.
I guess only from my perspective, from a recruitment background, have engaged services from many providers before, but it was my approach with the provider and the service provided from that provider that didn't make a good match before. So the learning curve for me is the relationship that we've had here, and when I go out, when Epic is unable to provide me with candidates, when I go out to open market to other providers, I'd be looking for them to achieve the exact same service or equal the service that Epic provides.
Let me say a deal about the best candidate, because I think that's an interesting point. The absolute best candidate is a unicorn. That don't exist. But when we say best candidate, sometimes we're saying the best candidate that gets through the typical process. Because what we've found out, we don't always have success even with our existing process, and we spend a lot of money to get us the best candidate. What we tried to do on the other side was saying, the candidates can improve themselves and do the job. They can show up every day, do the job well, pull their weight, help out when they need to, don't make trouble, all the things that, what a problem employee does. That's sufficient. And just by the very existence, we got buildings that are our most efficient and our best buildings, the most engagement, the less absenteeism, happen to have a large number of people with disabilities. That should be proof in itself. Even if we didn't publish the data set, by its existence, it makes the... Let me ask this. Is there anybody in this room that hires people? Okay, when we talk about, everybody wants the CEO, that means CEO champion, that's also a unicorn. Most people that do this do not start at the CEO's office. There's somebody in the organization that hires people and say, I think I can hire people with disabilities effectively. I just need some help. But I'm willing to give it a try. Every one of the companies that have done this, not a single CEO is the one that started. It's always somebody in operations who said, in my operation, I want to give this a go. And then they go up the line, necessary as possible, and say, I've got it. Just make sure, give me some cover up here, but I want to give this a try. Most people will say yes. I've never met anybody that said they couldn't convince somebody if they wanted to do it. We have a ton of people in this world that say, you ought to do this. This is never going to happen if we have to get CEOs. They'll go along and you'll find one. But what can each of us do? Say, well, I'll give this a try, and then come to the supply side. Will you help? It's an offer, and the supply side's got to have an offer we cannot refuse. Because it's really easy for us to say, I put out an application, I got 75 to 100 applicants, what do I need to do different? It's some manager who says, I think we should give this a try for whatever reason. It's always a version of, it's the right thing to do, we're leaving people behind, this has a huge benefit to us, whatever. But there's more leaders in this room potentially that'll change Australia more than trying to go after every CEO that can do this. Let me tell you, that's a promise. Because we're still before the tipping point. Businesses will do what other businesses do, but it's still going to take leaders who decide, I will make a difference. That's all this takes. Whether we're in HR, whether we're in operations, it just takes one person to say, I'll give this a try. Don't doubt the power of your own leadership. How you will convert your company. Because everybody will come to it, like Tasha says. Everybody wants to know. When we laid this out to stores, we kind of figured out, said, Texas is a big market. We have 2 big regions there. We have 500 stores. It's growing. And we have a senior vice president who will be for this. So we go down there and we pull all the store managers together, 200 of them. We say, we'd like to start this training program for people with disabilities. What's going to happen is we're going to have a store and they're going to put out a bid in order to an agency to bring in 4 or 5 people with job coaches. We're going to teach them all the things about the job. And when they're done, hopefully that store will hire them. If they can't, the 5 stores around them find a place for it. If you can't do it there, the 30 stores in the district. And if you can't find a place there, another employer. That's the plan. And we're looking for volunteers. Who in this room will be a volunteer store for that program to kick it off? We hope for 10 store managers in a room of 200. 30 people stood up. And then when the south part of Texas, another 200 store managers, we didn't even go down there. They heard about it and said, North Texas is not any better than us. We can figure this out too. They started their own initiative on the down low. We didn't even know about it. That's what happens about competition. Doing good can be doing great. If you want to do this, there are a ton of people at this conference that will make you successful. Here, write this number down. +1 847 275 5110. That's my cell number. Call me. I'll be home because you'll be awake and I'll be asleep. The world will move to make you successful.
I'm interested, I guess, firstly in terms of disclosure in Australia versus, I think you call it self-identification. We at Coles quite clearly have many people working for us who identify with having a disability of some description. I've got to say some of those people are missed employees. We know that. But what we don't know is out of the 100,000 people that work for us, how many others that are in employment that happen to have a disability that have not let us know what sort of work adjustments would in fact help them even further. In fact, we know we lose people through performance management because of this. So my question, Randy, to you is, in Walgreens, with the culture you've so successfully generated, what sort of percentage of your workforce came forward and self-identified as also having a disability that you're able to assist?
We keep hearing that over and over. People will self-identify when they really do need something. We've had a lot of people come forward and say, I need a reader for this screen. It'd really be great if I could figure out how to do this larger or whatever. I think, and it was said earlier, it's been said by everybody, once you walk the walk and the trust is there, people will self-disclose, they will self-identify. But we can't do it because we need to know the numbers. My daughter asked me, she's bipolar, and she was going to a new job, and she said, Dad, should I self-identify? And I said, why would you? Because what's in it for you? Until you can trust the employer, there's a lot of downside. You don't want to become known as the crazy one. But until it's self-identification is the employer's problem, not the employee problem.